Hello MotoGP fans, welcome back to ZNGP Today. With Marc Márquez's immediate impact on the Ducati GP25, questions continue to swirl about his controversial signing. Ducati's CEO Claudio Domenicali addressed the reasoning behind bringing Márquez to the factory squad, despite past comments suggesting Ducati did not need him. Meanwhile, Domenicali also discussed Pecco Bagnaia's slow start to 2025, insisting that the former champion's true potential is yet to be seen. Marc Márquez's flawless start to the 2025 season has sparked major discussion within the MotoGP paddock. Carlo Pernat, a well-respected figure in the sport, weighed in on the growing dominance of the Marquez brothers and the struggles of Pecco Bagnaia, whose role as Ducati's #1 rider appears increasingly uncertain. Pernat believes that while Bagnaia's issues are not just technical, the mental strain of being outperformed by Marquez could be playing an even bigger role in his early season struggles. MotoGP World Champion Jorge Martin has provided an update on his challenging injury recovery, revealing that he is finally seeing progress after multiple setbacks. Martin, who suffered severe fractures in both his wrist and foot, admitted that the recovery process has been mentally and physically exhausting, but he remains determined to return as soon as possible. Despite Yamaha's ongoing grip struggles, Alex Rins took a bold gamble at the Argentine MotoGP, opting for a soft rear tire against the team's recommendations. While the decision didn't drastically change his final result, Rins prioritized early performance over long-term durability, finishing as the top Yamaha rider but still facing the harsh reality of Yamaha's struggles compared to rival manufacturers. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Marc Márquez's arrival at Ducati Lenovo team was not without speculation. In 2024, Domenicali had stated that Ducati did not need Márquez, sparking doubts about whether he truly supported the signing. However, in a recent interview, the Ducati CEO clarified that Márquez's recruitment was a well-thought-out decision, based on the overall performance Ducati could achieve with him on board. If we now have Marc with us, it is because we made a choice that was carefully evaluated. Last year, Márquez's performance was a great reference, and we considered that it was a good choice. Márquez's stunning adaptation to Ducati has already validated the decision, with the Spaniard securing 4 wins in 4 races to start the season. Ducati saw an opportunity to further strengthen their dominance, and Márquez's performances in Gresini Racing last year made it clear he was still a race-winning force. While Márquez thrives, Pecco Bagnaia has struggled to match his teammates' level. The former champion ended preseason testing with issues and has yet to claim a podium in 2025. However, Domenicali believes it's only a matter of time before Bagnaia finds his rhythm. I think Pecco started with 2 races that were not among his most notable. He finished the winter tests with some difficulties that did not depend on him, so we are not yet seeing his true potential. Domenicali acknowledged that Austin might not be the turning point, as it is a Marquez-favored circuit, but hinted that from Qatar onward, the championship could look very different. Bagnaia, known for his resilience, will need to turn things around quickly to remain a title contender. Regardless of individual performances, Ducati remains MotoGP's benchmark. The brand has been unstoppable, winning 19 consecutive races and leading both the riders' and manufacturers' standings. Domenicali credited Ducati's success to a perfect blend of racing excellence and technological innovation. I have always seen Ducati as a combination of product and racing. The racing is going extraordinarily well, and I think the production product has never been as beautiful as it is today. As Ducati continues to set the standard in MotoGP, the key challenge now is ensuring both factory riders are competitive. Marquez may be delivering the results, but for Ducati to truly dominate, Bagnaia must find his best form before it's too late. Marc Márquez's return to top form has been nothing short of spectacular. After his double victory in Argentina, The 8-time world champion sits comfortably atop the standings, with Alex Marquez proving to be a strong contender as well. Pernat sees this as a return to an era of Marquez dominance, warning that it could make the championship too predictable. Marc Márquez has become a Galactico, while Alex Marquez is at least a stellar competitor. They are monopolizing MotoGP, just like Ducati is, Pernat said. With Ducati securing all top 5 positions in Argentina, Pernat pointed out that despite the efforts of Aprilia, Yamaha, and Honda, no other manufacturer has been able to close the gap. He emphasized that Marquez's improved physical condition and refined riding style make him almost impossible to beat. Marc doesn't crash anymore. He rides very cleanly. He has worked hard on his physique, his shoulder, and recovering from his past injuries. Now, truly beating him is very difficult, if not almost impossible. While Marquez thrives, Bagnaia is struggling. The former champion was once Ducati's undisputed leader, but Pernat believes his confidence is slowly eroding. According to the Italian manager, Bagnaia's difficulties go beyond bike setup. They are largely mental. Pecco definitely has problems, not just technical ones. He suffers a lot compared to his teammate, and in my opinion, 60% of this difference is a mental problem. Pernat noted that while other Ducati riders like Morbidelli and Alex Marquez may not feel the same pressure, Bagnaia's direct comparison to Marc in the same garage is making things worse. Ducati insists that both GP25s are identical, but seeing his new teammate dominate on the same machine has left Pecco in a tough position. Managing the Marquez-Bagnaia situation is becoming a challenge for Ducati's leadership. Team bosses Davide Tardazzi and Gigi D'Oligna must ensure that Bagnaia doesn't completely lose confidence, as Ducati needs both riders at their best to sustain its dominance. Pernat believes Bagnaia still has a chance to bounce back, but the next few races will be crucial. Pecco feels like the number one in the Ducati box, and he's right. But he sees this leadership eroding day by day. He's won 2 MotoGP World Championships, and that's no coincidence. Let's go, Pecco! But this is perhaps the most difficult situation of his career. As MotoGP heads to Austin, a circuit where Marquez has historically been untouchable, the pressure on Bagnaia will only intensify. Pernat warns that if the trend continues, Ducati could face an even bigger problem, an internal rivalry that could split the team. With Marquez in control and Bagnaia searching for answers, the balance of power at Ducati is shifting. If Pecco doesn't fight back soon, he risks losing not only his championship hopes but also his status as Ducati's main man. Martin's injury woes began during preseason testing at Sepang, where he fractured his left foot and right hand in a crash. However, just as he was making progress in his recovery, he suffered a more severe setback while training on a supermoto bike ahead of the Thai Grand Prix. This second crash left him with additional fractures in his left wrist and injuries to his ribs, significantly complicating his rehabilitation. Honestly, the last few weeks were quite tough. I've been struggling a lot, and that's why I wasn't very active on social media. Martin admitted that his second crash was much worse than the first, stating that the impact was far greater than what he had experienced in Malaysia. The added injuries made his recovery even more complex, making it one of the most difficult periods of his career. After the first injury in Malaysia, I was recovering pretty fast, but then I had this big impact while training supermoto, and that was really heavy. It was a really difficult time, but now I start to see a bit more of the light. Martin detailed the full scope of his injuries, emphasizing that his left wrist fractures, radius and scaphoid, were the most severe. However, the 4 fractures in his left foot and additional muscle damage in his ribs further delayed his recovery. The most serious injury I had was the radius and the scaphoid in my left wrist, and on top of that, I had 4 fractures on my left foot and also some muscular injury on my ribs. So, for sure, it wasn't an easy injury at all. Despite the challenges of rehabilitation, Martin reassured his fans that he is giving 100% effort to recover, learn from his mistakes, and come back stronger than ever. I will give my 100% to be back in my best version. I will give my 100% to learn from my mistakes, as I try to do always. And I will be back as soon as possible. Martin has set his sights on returning for the Qatar Grand Prix, April 11th to 13th, though he admits that nothing is guaranteed. While he has already ruled out racing in Austin, he remains hopeful that his condition will improve rapidly enough to make his comeback in Doha. I don't know exactly when I will be back. For sure I will not be in Austin. The plan is to be in Qatar, but nothing is certain. The Aprilia rider also expressed how much he misses being on track and working with his team, stating that his recovery is now progressing much faster than before. I'm really looking forward to joining my team again, to ride that amazing bike. My condition is getting better much faster than at the beginning of the injury, so I hope to see you all really soon on the track. As Martin pushes through the final stages of his rehabilitation, MotoGP fans eagerly await his return to defend his title and challenge the Ducati dominance. Throughout the weekend, all Yamaha M1 riders battled a severe lack of rear grip, prompting conservative tire choices. However, Rins decided to take a different approach, choosing the soft rear tire in an attempt to maximize his early race pace. I told the team, let me enjoy at least the first part of the race. Because it's tough when you are trying to give your maximum and the result is not so good. You need to enjoy. While Rins expected the tire to degrade, his final result remained relatively unchanged, finishing 11th, promoted from 12th after Ai Ogura's disqualification. More notably, he outperformed all other Yamaha riders, including Fabio Quartararo, 14th, and Jack Miller, 13th, Pramac Ducati. Despite being Yamaha's best finisher, Rins still faced a tough reality check when Luca Marini, Honda, overtook him before the halfway mark and pulled away by over 5 seconds. This further highlighted the gap between Yamaha and its rivals, as the Japanese manufacturer dropped to last place in the constructors' standings. It was quite clear today, after Marini overtook me, he put 5 seconds on me. So this is the reality right now. More than this is difficult to do. Rins acknowledged that the M1's front end remains competitive, but its lack of traction and edge grip forces riders to wait longer before applying the throttle. In an effort to mitigate excessive wheel spin, Rins experimented with a Moto2-style engine power delivery during warm-up. In the warm-up, I tried an engine power delivery really on the floor, like a Moto2 bike. It was better. Less spin. But then I was stuck exiting from the corner. This highlights Yamaha's ongoing battle to balance power delivery and acceleration, with the team still searching for solutions to improve rear grip. Next up is Austin, COTA, a track where Rins has previously won MotoGP races with Suzuki and Honda. However, the Spaniard remains realistic about his chances, acknowledging that while he has a good record in Texas, the current state of the Yamaha limits his expectations. Additionally, Rins pointed out how Marc Márquez's success on the Ducati further proves that a rider needs the right machine to be competitive. I'm pretty good in COTA, but I've also had some podiums here in Argentina. I don't like to compare, but it's clear Marc Márquez was struggling with the Honda and now he is the reference on the Ducati. It's a combo. You need to have the bike, and you need to have the rider. With Yamaha still searching for solutions, Rins and his team will have to push the limits at COTA and hope for incremental improvements in their performance. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. See you next time.